Stylist burnout. Has this ever happened to you? And if it hasn't, you need to learn how to prevent it because chances are at some point of your career it will happen. So, today we're going to talk about what burnout really is, how it starts, and most importantly, how to get rid of it. My name is Valerie Bauman. I've been a hairstylist for 24 years and I am your hair mentor, here to help you in this industry and here to guide you in all things concerning hair, salon life, and etc. So I have to apologize. I've been out for about 2 weeks. I ended up getting pretty sick and I lost my voice entirely, but finally it returned and I'm back and I'm so excited to talk about this topic because this is a topic that means a lot to me. I've witnessed it, being in this industry for over 2 decades. I've witnessed it and it's a real thing and it's a serious thing. So let's talk about it. What is burnout? Burnout is when you as a stylist become completely exhausted doing the same services over and over again. Now, who here has experienced it? Me. The services that once brought you joy no longer do. And what used to feel creative now feels repetitive. What used to excite you now drains you. And burnout isn't always just about one service, it can grow into something much bigger. It can turn into you being tired of being behind the chair altogether. So, what do you do when you reach that point? Because let's be real, you invested a lot to get here. You paid for school, you put in the hours, you built a clientele, which was really hard work. And walking away doesn't feel simple and it may not even feel possible. My personal experience with burnout is, well, I want to be really real with you right now. So I too have experienced burnout. It was in 2011. I was about 8 years behind the chair and I was booked for 32 weddings. That's a lot of weddings. That means more than half my year was dedicated to weddings. And each wedding wasn't just one service. I was doing about 6 to 8 updos or makeups in one service day. So it'd be hair and makeup back to back, physically exhausting, mentally draining. And on top of that, about a third of those weddings involved clients that were difficult. I will not disrespect and say the Zillow word, but it was challenging to say the least. I did feel disrespected and I felt pressured on the wedding days. The money was good, but the burnout became much bigger. And that's something that not enough people talk about. So after that, I decided to step away from weddings and almost completely stop them. I only did like my close clients, my close friends, and I didn't fully step back into weddings until I opened my brick and mortar in 2022. So that's 11 years that I took a break from weddings. When at one time I was known as one of the best people in the area to go to, I was so burnt out, I had no desire to do it. So you have to think about that. That's really serious to step away from something for 11 years because you're sick of it. And I think that that is something that a lot of us encounter as hairstylists. And it's not talked about enough, especially in cosmetology school. Now, I can honestly say to you that I do love weddings. Again, I love updos, I love makeup, but I had to remove myself from it to fall back into love with it. So let me share a few burnout statistics because you're not alone. If you're sitting here thinking, is this just me? It's not. Over 60% of hairstylists report experiencing burnout at some point in their career. 60%. Burnout most commonly starts around 5 to 10 years behind the chair. And nearly 30% of hairstylists leave the industry within the first 5 years. That means this isn't rare, and it's actually a part of the career cycle for many people. The difference is some people push through it and evolve, and others walk away completely. Burnout does not usually show up overnight. it creeps in, and you'll start to notice a feeling of dread before certain services, anxiety, or even fear walking into your day. The repetition starts to feel exhausting, and you feel bored, uninspired, and disconnected. And then it can grow into something totally bigger. You sit in the parking lot and you don't want to go inside your salon. You're dragging your feet to start your day. Your mindset becomes more negative than positive. Your coworkers start to irritate you, even if they've done nothing wrong. You're short with clients, and your work starts to decline in quality. And that's when you know it's not just a bad day, it's burnout. If that's where you are right now, I want you to pause for a second, take a breath, because I need you to understand something, that you're not alone in this, and this happens to almost all of us. So many stylists have been exactly where you are, including me. So you're probably thinking, how do I prevent burnout? And I'm about to give you some ideas, but these are all my personal opinion, my experiences that I've shared and witnessed behind the chair, and take take from it what you want and apply what you need. My first opinion of how to prevent burnout is don't build a clientele around one single service. This is something I see a lot from specialists. And if you build your entire business around one service, you are setting yourself up for burnout. Even if you love it right now, you cannot promise yourself that you're going to love it forever. Burnout often hits when you least expect it. And when it does, you need options. You need to be able to shift into other services to feel that fresh and exciting again. For me, I would go through phases. I would be passionate about men's cutting for like 5 years. That's all I wanted to learn. And now I don't really challenge myself with too many classes concerning it. I still enjoy it, but I don't have that passion for it anymore. Or let's back it up to like 15 years ago when ombre turned into balayaging and everybody was balayaging. I was obsessed. I loved it. That's all I wanted to do was just hand paint hair. Well, that got really old for me. It was a lot of hard work. So I kind of wanted to focus on more simpler ways of coloring that was still profitable and less time. You're gonna float in and out of different services. You're gonna be excited about something and really passionate and want to learn everything you can about it, and then you're gonna maybe have an interest towards something else. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe that was just me, but statistically, 60% of people experience burnout. I would say I'm not the only one. I would try, if you're a specialist, to still incorporate other services in your clientele. And then that way, if you do hit burnout, you can kind of shift and focus your passion and creativity on something else to kind of give you that break. If you're just kind of tired of it, you get a little like passion break, and then you can go back into what you were originally doing. Something else you can do that might be helpful if you specialize in a specific service is try to figure out new methods and new techniques to just really switch up what you're doing. And then maybe you can somehow ignite that passion again just because you're doing something totally different and something totally creative. Now, if you're innovating, maybe you could develop something new on your own, create your own technique. I love to do that. So, if you're feeling yourself getting tired of a service, don't ignore it. Learn something new, learn a new technique, try a different approach, challenge yourself creatively. We are in an industry where we can constantly evolve, and that's a blessing. I mean, it is endless what we can do behind our chairs. And I don't know too many people that have a job that they can really truly say that, or artist. We can do so many things. So expand your services. Something you can do that might motivate you a little bit more is adjust your pricing and your time. Sometimes burnout isn't just about the work, it's about the volume. You may be working too much for too little, so raise your prices. Work less hours, give yourself space to breathe, because when you're constantly overworked, burnout is inevitable. If you're new, be honest early. If you're in cosmetology school or you're just starting out, you need to ask yourself some real questions. Do I actually enjoy doing this? Do I like working with people every day? Can I handle the pressure of this industry? Because statistics show a large number of stylists leave within 3 to 5 years, and it's often because they ignore those signs early on. And this career is not for everyone, and that's okay. But it's better to know this early, so be honest with yourself. Now, my cosmetology school would give your money back, your tuition money back after if you decided that this wasn't for you within the first 3 months. And I think that if you maybe you're on the fence, try to find a cosmetology school that has something like that in its contract or in its clause. And then if you suspect that this isn't for you and you really know in your heart that you should be doing something different, then it won't be so costly for you to drop out and choose something else. But be honest with yourself. If you do not like people and you don't enjoy talking to people, this industry is not for you. You've got to be a people person. And I work with many introverts. You don't have to be an extrovert, but you have to have the ability to talk to people. Also, if you're just terrified to do any type of service behind the chair, I don't think this is the right industry for you. I think you need to find something that brings you joy. It's okay if it's not. It doesn't mean you failed anything. It just means there's something else more suited for you. Now, I want to talk to stylists, the OGs who've been doing this for a year. You're seasoned and you've lost your fire. You don't need to quit. You just need to spark it back up. Reignite that passion. My first suggestion to you is go to a hair show. Hair shows just are so diverse in techniques in every single area of services that we do. They're also offering advanced techniques. And you might find that just attending a show could really just spark your passion back up, because a lot of hairstylists, I won't say a lot. I know plenty though that do not educate themselves and are just comfortable where they're at. And I think that could lead to burnout. So educate yourself, stay on top of new techniques, and you might like spark something inside of you that's like, oh, I just really want to try that. Or I know the perfect client to use this technique on, or this is so interesting. I want to learn more about this and maybe incorporate this in my services. Now, the hair shows are incredible, and they really are all over the country. So there's some really major ones in Vegas, Chicago, Miami, and New York. So take classes, learn something new, surround yourself with fresh energy, or shift your role completely. Maybe you don't want to take clients all day long. Maybe you want to teach or be a mentor. Work with just a product line. Find a product line company you're really passionate about and just sell products. Open a salon. Step into leadership. You can stay in this industry without just staying behind the chair. You could go work in a cosmetology school. You could just manage a salon. You could just open a salon and work way less behind the chair and more focus on your team. If you're truly done, you can pivot with purpose. So if you're at the point where you're completely over it, and I'm in stylist forums where I see this all the time, where they're like, I just don't even love doing this anymore. I feel like I need to quit. Before you quit, I encourage you to just take a step back and take a break. Maybe go on vacation. I would call it a sabbatical. Like, take some time off and pray about it. Ask yourself, what am I actually passionate about? And if that passion leads somewhere new, start building on it. Even if you stay behind the chair part time while you explore a new passion or a new area that you think that you'd be really good at, that's okay. I think a lot of people feel stuck, and you got one life to live. You don't have to be stuck behind the chair. So if you are someone that just knows that this industry is not for you anymore, then I encourage you to take a break, pray about it, and explore what brings you joy. When it comes to burnout, I promise you that there is a solution. Burnout does not mean you failed, it means something needs to change. Burnout isn't here to break you, it's here to redirect you. We are in one of the most creative, opportunity filled industries there is, but you have to be willing to evolve within it. We have so many opportunities, we have so many areas that we can dive deeply into. And if you are feeling burned out of any specific one area, there's so many other areas you can throw yourself into. And burnout is not the end. I'd like to invite you to follow me on Instagram at the.hairmentor. I would love for you to like and hit subscribe and follow me on YouTube. I have so much more to share with 24 years in the industry, and I'm so happy to help you along the way. Just a reminder, please comment if you've ever had burnout and let me help you specifically. I would love to do that. I am a servant to you all. But once again, I am your hair mentor. Create with intention and lead with your God given purpose.